Hello and welcome to season 11, episode 9 of The What Reads. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Awesome.
Excellent.
I'm a little sick, so that's why my voice seems a little froggy.
We've known this about you, Alan.
A little
You're
froggy.
just a little sick.
A little sick. Just a little bit. It
He's
is
a
what
little
it is.
jumpy, y'all. Just a little jumpy.
Yeah, little froggy. Little jumpy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, it's been fun. Yeah, getting sick is fun. I took a COVID test. It's not COVID, so that's the plus side.
That
The
is.
downside. Yeah, time to wheel again. There you go, String Flame. Yeah. So I got a runny nose. So if I start like sneezing and coughing and doing all the crazy stuff, my cat's a con artist. My wife just texted me. Yep, my cat is a con artist. So he always gets like second dinner. And we give him like his regular wet cat food for dinner, and then after he goes to bed, we give him like a little bit of treats as like a second dinner. And he always acts like he hasn't been fed if one of us feed, like, so we always have to text each other. So I was like, just give Kenobi a second dinner. And it's like, he's a con artist. He already had it.
Yep. But you could tell he's won that argument a couple times. He's not big, but he's a little fluffy.
He's a little fluffy. He's won it a lot.
Yeah.
He also eats the dog's food. He's a cat that eats dog food. It's weird. He's a weird cat. He's a weird cat. Sometimes he'll break into like the bread basket and start eating bread. I'm like, what cat? Just stop.
I always forget you have a cat, and he'll be nowhere around, and then I'll round a corner and he's on a table and his face is like in my face, and I'm like, oh shit, where did you come from?
He hides 99% of the time. You come to my house. Like, there are people that have like come to my house like for years, like not on a weekly basis, but like a lot, and never ever saw our cat. Like randomly one day they're just hanging out and the cat walks by and goes, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, it's a cat. I was like, since when did you have a cat? I was like, I mean, we've always had a cat. We've had a cat longer than we had this house.
After he scares me, he's like, right, mission accomplished, and then he'll walk away. Like, I don't get to pet him, nothing. He's like, right, job's done, and then he disappears again. I'm like, what the hell was that?
The only two people he'll let me and my wife pet him, and that's the only two people. My kids can't touch him. Anyone that comes and takes care of him, like hiss at anyone that tries to touch him. I mean, he'll be happy to get feed him, but yeah, no one else touches him.
That's funny.
He's very much a standoffish. Like, no, I have my two people, and really, it's just my wife, and he tolerates me. He lets me pet him, but it's more of a toleration than actually liking me.
Yeah,
it is what it
He's
is.
like, you work for my food. You can pet
You're
me.
a source of food. Yeah, that's what it is.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'll put up with this.
I'll put up with it. Yeah, whatever. He won't let me pick him up though. The only person that can pick him up is my wife. Yeah, so it's fun.
Challenge accepted.
Claws will come out, which I don't really mind. I'm like,
I'm gonna try next time I'm
go
there.
and scratch me. I don't really care. He won't scratch me. He'll just flatten down, like super limp, and like don't.
He'll do that toddler limp body thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like stop.
My legs don't work.
I honestly prefer them that way sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Meanwhile, my dog is all about any cuddles, and anyone even looking at her, she'll just come over and jump on you and want to lick your face and be.
She is a good puppers.
She is a good puppy.
Those dogs are awesome.
If ever I'm in a bad mood and I go over Alan's house, Alan actively tries to make it worse, and it's his dog that picks me up. So
yeah,
all the snuggles.
Facts.
I just say like all these horrible things go to my life, and Alan's like, "Well, you had choices along the way, and you made them." And I start crying a little bit, and then the dog holds me and like wags his tail, and he's like, "I love you no matter what." So
then I say that's not very demure of you, and then you cried more.
I'm kidding. I should joke so much. Alan's always been a good friend, without getting the details of it, but he's been a really good friend the last couple of weeks for me. So anyways, I owe him some kudos because I was
put you on my work calendar, all right?
You're important then.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Anyways, personal life, our announcements. I don't think we have any. No, we have no new patrons unless I missed something. But yeah. Other announcements. We're not doing Cosmo Reads this week because of Halloween. Which brings me, I guess, to personal life. What did we do last weekend? I don't even know. What day is it? What year is it? We did something.
It feels that way.
Oh, you did a little Greek Fest.
Oh, we did do Greek Fest,
that.
right? Yeah. So yeah, okay, that's what we did. We went to Costco, and that took like 3 hours, and then it went to Greek Fest.
That's a full day. If you got kids, those 2 stops, that's a full day.
Oh, my son's lemonade stand. That's right. So like instead of carving pumpkins, we went to Costco to buy pumpkins and lemons so he could do a lemonade stand. He's been begging to do a lemonade stand, and my wife was just like, "I'm not doing a lemonade stand. I never did a lemonade stand as a kid. I don't understand them. I'm not doing it." I was like, "I'll do it for him." So fine. So we went to Costco to buy lemons and pumpkins. Now,
that's pretty dope.
The idea was to do the lemonade stand next weekend because Halloween's this week, so we carved pumpkins this weekend. Well, my son was one track mind. Lemonade stand today.
Make that money.
I told him, I was like, you got to pick one or the other. And he's like, lemonade stand. We don't need to carve pumpkins. I'll just take a marker and draw a face on it. I was like, all right, cool. It's less messy actually to make lemonade than it is to carve pumpkins. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So anyway, so we have a bunch of uncarved pumpkins that are not getting carved now, and but he had lemonade stand. He made a little bit of money.
I was gonna say,
you usually get a couple neighbors to.
We put a Facebook blast out there, the neighborhood group, and there's like at one point a little line that formed, and he was super excited about it, and
oh, that's cool.
and then I joked around with my wife, and I was like, so should I teach the real world lesson yet? And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, should I tax him and then also make him repay me for buying the lemons? And then, after it's all said and done, he gets like $2. Here's all your hard work. Here's the $2. This is your cost overhead. And I was like, oh yeah, and Eliza helped you too make the lemonade. So you got to pay your help. So go ahead and pay her out.
That'd be the devastating one. Paying his sibling. You'd be like, no.
This is how the real world works. You start your own business, and guess what? You get nothing.
You could save those lessons for a little bit later on. When in a late elementary school and a middle school, I cut grass in the neighborhood with another kid in the neighborhood. But my dad and his dad were on the same page. If we used their mowers, we had to pay them a little bit for it. Of course, they'd go get the gas because we were too young, but we had to pay for the gas.
Yeah, all the sunk costs and everything, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But back then, we'd get we'd still get $20 for just cutting somebody's front lawn, and if it was the
Yeah.
whole yard, we'd cut them a deal at like 35 and do the front and back. But most people down there would
Yeah.
just have you do the front yard, so they wouldn't get fined by the city,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
they'd give us $20.
Yeah. Pretty much. Just get a goat. You can't have those in the city, but yeah, they'll just eat all the grass. There you go. But no, he did all right. I think he like what is it? He made like $24, I think, or whatever. So not bad.
That's good.
It's good for limit day soon. Yeah.
He's like, I
not
spent
bad.
$50 on the lemons, 10 on the.
Yeah. I think the limits cost like $14 for a whole,
Oh yeah, you would have definitely eaten his entire profit up. He might have made $9.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like when you watch Love It or List It. I hate their math because their math is stupid. It makes no sense.
Oh yeah, like I collect butterflies, $1 million house.
Well, your house was valued at 150 and you put 20 into it, and now your house is worth 175. You now are grossing over $25,000 more. No.
That's not how you math.
Not how you math. Maybe it's how y'all math, because the majority of your watchers are not math people, but
yeah. Fun times. So that was my weekend, was that, and then we got all the costumes lined up for Thursday night to do the trick-or-treating. Should be fun. My son's going as a Minecraft character or something like that. And then my daughter's going as a unicorn because she loves unicorns. And then my youngest is going as a lion because he loves lions. Like, okay, that's easy. It's the easiest costumes this year. We're like, we got so much going on. I was like, yeah, here you go. Like, we used to make costumes. This is the first year. Yeah, this is the first year. Like, we just went on Amazon, just bought cheap costumes because we're like, you know what? Wear it once. I'm not spending, and we don't have time right now with all the house stuff. There's no time. You're lucky I'm recording on a Tuesday night. Let's put it that way, huh? It's been crazy. Like, I can't wait till we finally get done and moved. And then once we're moved and settled, life can resume. I kind of feel like this is going on forever, but it is what it is.
It is life.
Good luck.
It's my next tattoo. It is what it is.
How about you?
I'll get that one with you.
Maybe we'll all get it.
Enough.
Right. It is what it is. Tattoos. Yeah.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
It is what it is. What about you guys? What's going on in y'all's life? What's exciting?
See, my commitment to being more social, getting out. Went to a Halloween party the other night. It was a nice easing back into being around people and socializing. It was nothing too big, about 20 people. It was a last minute invite, so I just went to a costume store nearby and I got an average Joe costume from the dodgeball movie.
Gotcha.
But I also bought the dodgeball to go with it.
Nice.
So all throughout the night, there's a little dancing, there's people talking, mingling, whatever, people outside, and all night long I would just kind of casually go around, and when somebody was kind of turning the other way, I'd go boop. Like, I wasn't chucking it. Young Ian would have been chucking it.
Oh yeah.
I was just booping people with it, and they'd be like, "What?" And I'd be like, "You're out," and then I'd move on. And so got like 19 of the 20 people, and there was one person left, and by then everybody knew that I was eventually trying to get everybody out. And that last person was the most athletic chick in the group, and she knew it was coming, so she was dodging me all night.
She got the 5 Ds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People have apparently thrown wrenches at her because she can dodge.
Rich dodgeball.
Yeah, but it was getting late, and the people I showed up with, they told me they were about to leave, and I was like, all right, now or never. And I did some cool sneak attack where I snuck around the kitchen, and then somebody else was talking to her, and boom, I got the 20th. It was fantastic.
Right.
Did you know it was a small shindig, or were you pre-warned that it was a small party?
I didn't know it was going to be small. I was actually.
Isn't it always weird? Like,
I was pleasantly surprised though, because I got myself a little anxious about the big group, and then when it was small, I was like, cool, I can do this.
Yeah,
biggie.
I don't know if I ever told the story out here. Like, the first time, like, Happy and I hung out, my wife and I, she invited me to a party at her house. That's how we like hung out the first time. And like, I was a bartender at Skinner's at the time, at a local bar, and she came up and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna party in a few weeks. You should come by." So I'm thinking it's like a rager because that's all I go to those days. Those are my 20s.
Right.
Like, it's gonna be fun. So I went to liquor store. I bought a fifth of Jim Beam or something like that, just so I don't come empty-handed. I show up and it's literally, I think, 5 or 6 people baking cookies,
The track
listening to some
squad.
music. Yeah, and like I just walk in with my Jim Beam, and they're drinking like wine spritzers, and I'm like,
When's everybody else showing up?
when's everybody else coming? They're like, this is the party. I'm like, this is not a party. This is just friends hanging out. And I'm the
Yeah.
awkward one that doesn't know anybody here. So hi everyone. I'm the random guy from the bar. Anybody else want whiskey? Oh no, that's too strong. Okay, I guess I'm drinking whiskey myself in the corner. Cool.
Yep.
Let's get drunk.
The nice thing about like me not giving a shit just with life and everything and the fact that I'm 41 is even early on when there was only 5 people there, including me and the 2 people I showed up with.
Yeah.
And I was like, is there gonna be any dancing here? She's like, well, I didn't turn the music on yet. I was waiting for more people to show up. I was like, well, I'm ready to dance. So she turned it on. And I was just on the dance floor by myself. And as people came in, they were like, oh, the party's already started. I'm like, damn right.
Because I'm here.
You know? So
Yeah.
it was.
And the next thing you know, Ian's throwing a random firework in the middle of the party, and everybody's going crazy. Yeah, it's just...
And then a possum comes out.
Remember, I was easing into it, so I didn't bring out that.
No explosives yet.
Yeah,
that was always fun.
yeah. And so fast forward to now, my legs still aren't 100%. I don't know if I mentioned I talked about the Baker cyst thing.
Yeah.
Did I mention on here last week that also led to my back getting jacked up again from hobbling around on crutches? So it's like the left leg started getting better, and now I got the nerve pain down the right leg and whatever. The VA's taken forever to set me up with another injection and physical therapy. But I remember a lot of the stretches that I did when it was bad before. So I've been going through that and it's been getting better.
You do your Kegels?
Yeah, a little bit of that. So I'm probably going to say it wrong, but I also spent a couple weeks in physical therapy working on like pelvic floor tension, something or other, but it's kind of like man Kegels, strengthening down there. So, haha, joke's on you.
I wish I would have found y'all when you first started this. Still haven't started the Wheel of Time series. Well, start, dude. It's a king.
Get rolling. It's pretty good. It's so good. We've been doing this for 4 years.
4 years.
For long.
Forever.
All right, let me finish that statement. So my legs are getting better enough that signed up for a volleyball league. They have like super advanced groups. I'm not doing that skill wise. Like I used to be able to hang with that, but I can't really jump or do much with my legs now. So I'm doing like the beginner group for a while, and we'll see how I do.
I need you not to kill yourself.
That's a couple nights a week. I was watching the beginner groups, and they kind of like walk around the court and then boop the ball, and I can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Did I ever tell you the story about like
anything?
One of my friends, he's a lawyer, and like he broke his leg, and he went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, "So how'd you break your leg?" He's like, "Well, I signed up for jiu-jitsu." And the doctor just looks at him and goes, "Can I give you some advice?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. What do you want advice?" He goes, "You're in your 40s. Don't take up jiu-jitsu."
Have you been doing it your whole life? Sure.
Sure.
That's not when you start now.
You start now.
Yeah.
So
some people just gonna do what some people gonna do.
Yeah, he broke his leg.
Oh, did I tell you this though, Chris? When I was like week and a half, 2 weeks, couldn't put any weight on my left leg, and then I eventually was able to start walking around. My left calf is significantly smaller than my right calf.
Oh wow!
For 2 weeks, it's weird. And I played basketball with the boys a little bit the other day, and just a regular old jump shot, I could feel the difference in strength in my left and right leg. And I've always been pretty balanced, but just 2 weeks of doing absolutely nothing, and it's it's weird.
Yeah, you'll get it back quick though.
Yeah. I'm going to take my time to get it back. I'm not trying to feel that pain again.
No.
But yeah. Making progress.
Is it your right leg or left leg?
Left leg was the Baker cyst, but now that's fine. That's the one that's smaller.
That's
right leg
smaller.
now the nerve pain because I re-aggravated my back.
So now your right leg matches your right forearm.
Yeah, Pretty much. A little. Let's make it show the dent, get the angle.
Chris,
Your body
what's going
is
on here?
all broken out. You know what? Absolutely, I have nothing to complain.
Nothing.
No, we.
How was anniversary? You had anniversary last week. That's why you
I
weren't
was gonna
here.
say
So
we had
Yes.
anniversary weekend or week, pretty much a whole week. So like I took
Damn.
off of work, had my nephew and my sister down for the first half of the week. So they were there
Okay.
from Saturday until Monday night. And we just did cool things, took them to some restaurants, took them to some local spots in Charlotte. We went and ate at the country club with the in-laws.
Okay.
Did massages, saw Sonic 3, like just
Oh, that's
or Sonic 2, whichever one it was. Sonic 3, yeah.
Is
So
that out?
we
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So we
My
had a
kids
really
love
good
that.
time just hanging out and watching movies. And my nephew his dad's a bum and he doesn't listen, so I'll say that out loud. Just neither one of them
Okay.
listen. The dad listened, I wouldn't care. He's a bum.
Okay. Oh, she's gonna show him a chat.
And
You call him bum.
that would be great. Like my nephew's 13. He's at the age where it's kind of pivotal to have good influential males in his life, and
Mhm.
It's
I'm
huge.
so
Male
far away.
mentorship,
So
huge.
Yeah.
and so my in-laws love him too. So I'm like, look, we're gonna bring him down now. We'll bring him back for Christmas. So after they left, we had kind of a day to put the house back together and just kind of chill. And then for that was the day of the anniversary, we went out to dinner that night and just kind of enjoyed each other's company and came back home, watched movies, and just were together. And then Wednesday night was Usher. Oh my goodness, now that was phenomenal.
Usher.
Yes. So
I'd
it
go
was really
see
3
Usher.
concerts in one. We had Usher, we had
Mhm.
Casey from Casey and JoJo,
Oh,
Okay.
and then we
nice.
had Anthony Hamilton.
Okay.
Because they're both
Okay.
Charlotteans or Charlottians, however you pronounce it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a
So,
good show.
it was phenomenal. And of course, Usher
Oh.
did his thing. So,
Okay.
yeah, we had a great week.
Yeah.
And then
Sounds
followed
good.
it up with a good weekend. And then I went back to work. I was like, fuck, I
Yeah.
don't want to work. I need to find a job where I don't have to work.
Yeah.
Man.
Get in with the government, bro.
Yeah.
I work a couple days a week. I had to work today though. Oh my gosh. It was
So
so
did
weird.
I at the VA. Yeah.
Mm.
That place is horrible. This place is depressing.
Before we're done with personal life, let me throw out my one work experience today. I literally worked as a government employee. I worked over 8 hours today, about 8 hours and 20 minutes. I was late leaving work. One of my responsibilities is when the contractors invoice large maintenance contracts, many millions of dollars. I got to check the invoices, and then I check our system, make sure funds available. Da 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 da. Well, when I was checking our system that shows the funds remaining, for all the different CLINs, and comparing it to my spreadsheet, you'd be proud of me, Alan. I have some massive spreadsheets for work.
Nice.
2 of the CLINs did not add up, and
Ooh.
one of them, it showed that there was $95,000 missing. And so
wow.
before I called people on our side, I even called the contractor and the person that handles their invoices. And I was like, all right, line by line for this CLIN for this whole contract year, tell me what you charged. And
Yeah.
he rattled it off and it matched exactly what I had. So we spent the whole day, like today I was a forensic accounting person, which is the
Yeah.
least favorite part of my job, but it was 8 hours of trying to find $95,000. And
It's fun.
we found the mystery spot where it was billed in October of last year, but we still can't figure out who the money went to.
Wait, this is government money?
Oh,
Right?
Yeah,
Be careful, because there might be some people in the black suits that show up.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it'd be like, don't worry about that money.
Everybody that I
Don't
got to
dig
look
too
at
deep.
it was just tucked in there. And really, compared to all of our other invoices, $95,000 is a small amount.
You're not supposed to look at that.
But
All right.
like when I go to click on it, all the paperwork I pull up doesn't show
Dude,
the
you realize
detail
we're live
invoice.
right now. You shouldn't
it's
be
just blank
talking
sheet.
about this. You should be talking. And now he's gone. See, this is what happens when.
I was gonna say
I'm
something.
gonna be
about
walking
leaving
in
it alone.
tomorrow, and the director pulls up, and he's gonna be in like a GTR. I'd be like, "Oh man, it's a sweet car." He's gonna be like, "Yeah, it cost me $95,000." I'd be like, "Oh, cool," and then I'll go, "Wait a
Wait.
minute,
Wait a minute.
hold on."
Careful. You don't want to talk about
Yeah.
that money. Oh, good
Anyways,
times.
yeah,
It
my
happens
actual
that government money and church money are the two things you just don't ask questions about. You just don't ask questions. So I made that mistake one time. I went to a church and they were doing like a congregation, like talking about their budget, and they shared it with the entire congregation. And like I was new, so like I wasn't a member of the church. Of course, I start pouring through the numbers, and I raised my hand. They're like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Yeah, my name's Alan. There's $2,000 missing from this budget." They're like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Yeah, there's $2,000 missing. Where's the $2,000?" Like, you can see yourself out. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
"No, really? Like, you have money missing." Like,
They're like, do not cause chaos in the church.
You might be right though, because every other invoice in our system, you can click on it, even go in the archives and click on it. It shows detail what was billed and what for. And this particular one, you click on it and there's nothing.
Redacted.
Yeah, leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Oh, yeah. Well, I already emailed a bunch of people, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
He's gonna walk in and have no job.
I CC'd a whole lot of people. Look, man, if I find that money, shoot, that's my salary for a year.
I'm telling you, people in black trucks, the black suits show up. Just be careful. Just be like, I don't know what I was
Just
doing.
know that we loved you.
I'll ask him for a job.
Well, you might get it.
Can't walk, but I can drive.
Right? I can.
My legs are hurt. You guys ready to talk about some news of the dragon?
Yes. Oh my gosh, let's
Sure.
do this.
Okay. Yeah, the first chapter's okay. So chapter 18, news for the dragon. So we start with Loyal.
News for the dragon.
Welcome back, Loyal. Happy
Welcome
to see
back,
you.
Loyal. Yeah, Loyal comes back. You haven't seen Loyal in a long time, man.
We haven't.
Yeah. Although I'm back to this whole series is just made up of Loyal's notes.
Oh no, I completely agree with you.
Jordan's really trying to sell that now with Loyal. He's just writing down everything about Rand and everything that's going on, and
Yeah.
I can.
And his back and forth with Rand, hilarious. Those of you that have children, all of mine did this, so I'd assume most kids do. When they're young, they talk. They tell you more than you want to hear, but you love them, so you let them talk. And then they hit this age, like around middle school, where like you ask them questions trying to find out about their day, and all you get back is one-word answers. And so you have to keep digging, and you try to ask these complex questions, and you get a shoulder shrug and a, oh no, maybe. And so Loyal, trying to write this detailed book, is giving Rand crap that he has to like drag all of the details out of him. He's like, you gotta speak in more detail. It's like I have to drag every single, like I'm tired of asking so many questions. Just give the story to me. And Rand's like, I don't know, I finger blasted that bitch, you know, and that's all I remember.
That's all that's important.
Right.
Finger blasting is the best.
Sorry.
Sorry for the B word that came out. I try not to use that one too often, but
Ian, is Loyal still your roommate?
Honestly, this chapter explains a lot. I thought he was still in the back room, and I went in there the other day to clean. Not there. So apparently he was hooking up with Rand trying to write this story. So
yeah, he's gone.
Yep. I don't know how he got out. He must have fasted for a while because my doors are not that big.
Waygate.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had a Waygate in the back room.
He must have gated out.
Yeah.
Didn't even think
When
about that.
Ashma came and gave him a ride.
Give him a ride. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Good times.
Or maybe
Tony
Aaron. That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rand at this point's only half listening to, because he's thinking about all the women who died for him, and being
they
emo.
proudly stood up.
Yeah, being emo Rand, being like,
and defend him still today.
Sorry, I don't have long black hair to like do the hair flick, but you guys know do it.
Chris nailed it.
There you go.
You do the shake and then it close your eye.
You got to throw your neck back.
Did I ever tell you when I went like as a hardcore emo kid for Halloween? This was in college. Were you at the party,
No.
Ian? It was a CNU Halloween party. It's at the old sailing house.
Mm.
But I got the spray like hair dye stuff where I dyed my hair all black. combed it over in the side, and like painted my fingernails, got black fingernail polish, wore like black shirt, black skinny jeans. And
I don't remember that one.
yeah, I was in full like emo mode, and I got into character the entire night. So like every time people like came up to me, it's like, "How things going?" It's like, I mean, it's all right, man. It kind of sucks. like the entire night, I was just like full in character. Like, and I thought it was hilarious. And people that got it thought it was funny. The next day, I got at least 5 calls from friends like, "Are you okay, dude? Like, you seemed really down last night." I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." It's like, yeah, just really like normally like you're going around like doing all sorts of crazy stuff, getting people to do stuff, and you sat in the corner the entire night. I was like, I was an emo kid. Like that's what we do.
What was I supposed to do?
That's what I'm supposed to do. Like, just sitting on the corner, like life's.
You don't understand my life, gosh.
Yeah.
Nobody understands me.
The sad part is I love emo music, so it's just.
I say that I don't, but like it comes on and I turn it up, and I'm like,
yeah.
What do we really consider emo music? It's all just music.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah. It's trying to define what is the quintessential emo song. Yeah. I think it would be Hawthorne Heights, probably. The Highs for Lovers. Anyway. So yeah, think about all the maidens that died, all the people, all the women that died. He thinks back to the fight with Samael, Shadow Logoth, pictures Morden's face, and Luce Theron's there too. He's aware.
And Luce is very lucid. Like they're having active conversations. Like that's just what they do. And to a point that kind of bothered me. And the other side, it's like, well, I mean, now that he's having legitimate conversations with him and he's really able to understand him, maybe he's not as crazy as we think he is.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of pro Luz and him having conversations at this point because I don't have to feel as concerned.
Yeah. So what do you? So at this point, do you guys think it really is Luz in his head, like versus just like a craziness? Because I mean, the cleanse the taint, so it's not.
Oh no! I mean, after this after the next chapter, I definitely know that Luz is in his head. So like that's not even a question.
Yeah.
When we talked about it some, I not only have been thinking that it's a definite Luz, but obviously a critical part of the story. And gosh, I don't want to jump ahead to the next chapter. I'll save this one thought. But I've always thought like the coming undone of Rand and Luz, inevitably taking over is going to be critical. Right. Mm-hmm. And I know Chris is hinting at being hopeful and how it's starting to play out and that he's actively engaging Luz versus trying to like resist it or be in denial.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be necessary for the story, necessary for, fighting at the last battle. But I think it's going to go horribly wrong.
Yeah. Oh, that was an announcement I didn't add. We have a new co-host for Cosmere Reads.
Oh.
Yeah. So Tree has officially joined the cast of Cosmere Reads. So Tree is our our new.
Has Tree never read Cosmere content?
She's read some of the Cosmere, but she's
So she's doing it as first time reader
for some of it.
Okay.
Oh, that's
because
awesome.
She's read the first Mistborn, which we've already done. She's read Elantris, which we've already done. We're reading some of the short stories that she hasn't done, so she's first time reader for that. But then she's read some Stormlights. When we get to that, she's kind of a forgetful second time reader.
Good.
I mean, it's easy to forget too because there's a lot that happened.
There's a lot
in Stormlight. Like Stormlights are thick novels.
It's thick. It's girthy.
Girthy. I like them thick.
I like them thick
too.
Let me add that to my profile. Hold on.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention that. That's those important
people
details.
that like it thick. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I like thick mustaches.
Rand's also worried about that he might find that him and Luz might affect the Ta'veren, the pattern with being double Ta'veren together. So that's
I never thought about that.
I hadn't even considered that. Yeah.
Because like in my mind, there's still one person, not two people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really thought about them being two separate beings, and thus their coexistence being like doubly impactful.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And okay, so in my mind, Taviran doesn't just mean you walk around and randomly affect the pattern. I feel like being Taviran, there's still, depending on your personality and what it is that you desire and what you're trying to do, it can kind of affect the pattern in that way. So if you have two people that have two very different goals and or are driven by
It
two
will
very
pull the
different things,
pattern in two different directions. Maybe that's why he gets queasy when he tries to pull on the pattern, because they're both trying to pull it for different reasons.
or drawing on the
Yeah. Or drawing on the power. It's
Also Lucy's crazy. I mean, he's
right.
Is he?
Well, I mean,
thinking
having
more and
killed
more
his family, he's
traumatized.
but in a pretty rough way. We definitely are going to get into that some in the next chapter because I've got questions. I've got concerns.
Got lots. Yeah, concerns. At some point, Rand starts to think he might be ill, but Nynaeve's there, so she's like, "I'll check. Yeah, you're good." And Logain shows up, and he's like, "Hey, I got some news." Talks about the situation in Andor with Elaine and the Borderland army, and then he moves to talking about the Black Tower and Taim. He's like, "Yeah, so this guy got down there, Taim. Yeah, he's building his own like army that's not loyal to you at all." And Rand's like, "How can I know that you're loyal to me? Like, you used to be want to be a dragon too, like the dragon. So, like, are you gonna turn on me?" He's having those thoughts, and
yeah, I'm like, what in the world is going on here? Now I get it. I completely understand where Rand's mind was with that, but at the same time, I'm like, he's literally telling you that this man has an entire army within your army.
Yeah.
And I believe Rand has already suspected that.
Yeah.
He can't be that dumb.
Can't he?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Like, I feel like he's just not caring to care, He's just like, you know what?
Or he's
It is what it
underestimating it
is.
big time, because he does say or thinks something to the effect of, I got bigger things to worry about than Logain and Taim right now.
Yeah,
Like,
I got it. Okay, so there's a tower within the tower. It's okay. The war is coming, and at the end of the day, I need these people. So it's just gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's literally the mentality.
Yeah. Apparently, there's over 50 men that are special class that are loyal to Taim or whatever, and yeah, and they start arguing about the treachery of Taim when Catty Cat Catswain comes in.
I still like her. I'm a little bit suspect, a dash, like 10% suspicious. It's a strong 10%, but 90% I like her.
But what's the first thing she says? She comes in, she's like, "If you guys don't start arguing, what's going to happen?"
Spankings.
You must tie her down on a bed and spank her.
What's great is Logain is looking like, who is this woman talking to? And Rand like gives him the side eye, like, careful, she'll do it.
She'll do it.
Yeah. Is that bro?
She ain't playing.
Yep.
Yeah. And basically it's like, you'll be civil in my presence. Varen's there too, says that the last battle's close. So the Taim stuff will have to wait. We have other stuff to talk about. And so they switch to talking about the truce with Shan-Chan and creating that. And Rand's like, "Yeah, I mean, I already talked to the elephant about all this." And they're like, and Catswain's like, "What?"
Yeah, interesting. So he's not just telling Catswain, he's saying this in front of everybody right now, right? Because even Logain reacts when he says this.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I asked them a couple questions. Catswain's like, "Do tell."
Do tell.
What questions did you ask?
She's like, "I asked how what was the question he asked? I can't remember exactly how to phrase it.
How do I win at Tarmogoyf?
How do we got in? And
no, was it how do I win a time and guide, or how do I win the final battle? Because what he said was final battle,
Okay, final battle.
and it may time and guide may not be
But he
his
left
final
the
battle.
part. He left with the part in How Do I Not Die. He didn't tell that part, but he
Yeah.
thought it afterwards. But
Yeah.
the North and the East must be as one, and the West and the South must be as one. The two must be as one. Was the answer? And he's like, okay, well, Shang-Chi can control the South and the West, and pretty much I control the North and the East. So
He's thinking about it all wrong.
yeah,
Got to go back to the Tinkers. I'm telling you, it's the song, and the song requires everybody.
about tinkering pots.
Yeah, or
But the pots were
whatever.
hot.
Well,
But they ought not to be hot.
Not too hot to tinker because they tinkered them. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Or tinkers are tinkering pots. Yeah, I mean it's just
But yeah, that's where the answer is.
yeah.
And it's gonna be bigger than what Rand's thinking.
Right.
Got to get the wolves. Got to get all the people.
Tinkers still kids.
All
They tinker
the
pots.
lonely people.
Where do they? Eleanor Rigsby.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's a great song.
Yeah, it is. Father
At the end of the day, I completely agree. He's thinking long term, but in a short-minded way, which is
And in a military type fashion.
Yes. Yeah. Oh damn. Yeah, he's thinking very militaristic.
Yeah.
It's the best way of putting it.
Yep. Yeah, but so he's thinking about this apparently the wrong way. But he also realized the prophecy said something about he has to bind with the 9 moons, and he's like, "Wait!" But now I figured out what that is. I'm going to meet with her anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the crazier thing is he doesn't realize that he's like a step away from being bound to her anyway through Matt.
Well, Matt's already betrothed, I think, right? I mean,
she hasn't quite reciprocated, but
she hasn't said the words that would bind them, but they are betrothed essentially. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Although I'm curious, maybe I missed something. How does Rand know who and where she is?
I don't think that he knows who and where she is.
With the Ashaman hopping around?
No, I don't think that he actually knows. He just thinks that the time is coming.
Yeah. And he might
have seemed very matter of fact about it, like he's about to wrap that loose end up.
Yeah, there might be some messengers, but I don't think Matt's communicating with Rand at this point.
There are Ashaman with Matt, right?
Yes.
So maybe
there's definitely Ashaman with Perrin. I'm trying to think if there's any with
no.
With
there's no Ashaman with Matt.
There's no. Yeah.
No.
I'm trying to think if Matt has any Ashaman. He has Noel, him, Oliver, his red hand.
Yeah.
People.
He doesn't trust Ashaman.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say Rand seemed very matter of fact about it, as if he knew.
I mean, maybe he peeked in on them when they were having a conversation, because he is actively following up and watching Perrin and Matt as they go about.
Little peeky peek.
Yeah, just little peeky
blinders. Yeah. Yeah, and then chapter. Oh.
All right, pause. So, was it Varen talking about all the signs that the battle is near?
Yep.
It's nigh. Seeing dead people, and then like whole villages that just kind of disappear into the mist and blah 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 blah. So I went back to thinking about this whole multiverse mirror world theory and how things are overlapping. Maybe it's not just Michael Bublé's, that it's these mirror worlds getting stretched and realities overlapping. Okay, and then it hit me when Rand talked to the Eilfin, and they were like, in order to live, you have to die.
Yep.
And then I was like, how can that make sense? And okay,
but you know how
hold on,
you know how that works,
right? No, yeah. But this is even better. Don't get silly. I had it. Where did it go? Oh, all right. Now let's go back to the very beginning of all of this. I went again, loose Theron. I went again, loose Theron. I went again, loose Theron. He had to die in all these different turnings of the wheel he had to die 50 bazillion times until the last time where he wins and is able to live.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
They said the best in Hangover, but did you die?
But did you die?
But did you die? That's how you know that you lived. Yes, but did you die?
Yeah.
Had an awesome party, but did you die? Yeah. You have to die to live.
It's like Neo watching all the
Patri.
almost infinite versions of him that failed, and then he ends up winning in the end.
I think I clearly slept through that movie, The Last Matrix. I probably should go back and revisit it.
The last one? I think everyone slept through that one. But
yeah. Anyway,
it's not bad.
No, that was all the important stuff that came out of that chapter.
Well, no, the very last part's the most important part.
Storm's coming.
No, they told them that 3 Ogier have arrived. And Loyal's just like,
Wait, what?
Ogier? Wait, what do they look like? I think it's your mom. My mom? Yeah, aren't you excited? Excited is
And
not the word.
knows who his mom is.
Oh yeah, she's like, if it's ba, then you definitely don't want to keep her waiting. You better hurry up.
You better get on out of here.
Everyone parts ways at this point. So Varen leaves, claiming to think she has done all she can there. Nynaeve also leaves to go find Lan, telling them a storm is coming. There's a storm coming. And she doesn't mean the weather. And that's how we end this chapter.
Not at all.
Yeah.
She was something else in this chapter. Very just there. And then putting her hands on people without asking permission. You know, if we did that, we end up in HR.
Shoot, you don't even have to do all that. You can do a lot less than that.
That's very true.
You get in trouble.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's nervous laughter. That's very true.
Eventually, I'll be able to laugh at it.
I just got a DM. Ellen, are you doing a live reaction to chapter 20? I know the goal. Yes, we are doing a live reaction. Oh, yeah. Guys, we're doing a live reaction for the next chapter. So, this weekend, what's your weekend look like?
I'd rather not
Saturday night.
I can't do Sunday, but I can do like Saturday or Friday night.
We'll be at Bridgerton.
I can do tomorrow night. No, I can't do tomorrow night. I can do Friday night.
We'll be at church.
Maybe Friday night, Saturday night.
Or
Monday. Or next Monday night.
It would have to be Friday or Monday for me.
I can do Friday night.
Yeah, Friday or Monday.
All right, let's do Monday.
Yeah,
do Monday. You have to wait till Monday? Okay. All right. Monday night it is.
Yeah,
I'm trying to fill my social calendar on the weekends.
So Monday night for patrons only, we'll be doing a live reaction to chapter 20. So, yeah. All right, you guys ready for chapter 19?
Yes.
Vows. The fact that I remember the name of the chapter, that's how you know it was a good chapter.
Yeah.
I warned you. No, listen, I warned Chris. Wait, hold on.
The type of warnings I get from Alan are not warnings. I'm actually going to sit up for this chapter.
On. Let me pull up I'm pulling up the text. I'm pulling up the receipts. Give me a second. I'm pulling up the receipts.
He was like, so the next chapter is so good.
I sent this. I said, yeah, we're recording. You missed last week, so you have to catch up. I said, but these chapters are capital letters good. And I don't ever say that often.
He did. No,
and then, of course, the next day, this is what I get from Chris.
You did not prepare me well enough for how good these chapters were, or at least that last chapter of Vows. Oh my gosh, like that was a chapter I needed to reinvigorate me.
Yes.
Yeah, so I got receipts.
You do have receipts. I'll have to remember that next time.
I did tell you.
You did. You did give me all capitals good. You did.
I did give you all capitals good. Anyway. So
most people are like, oh my god, you can't believe what's going on in this chapter. Like, you have to read it. No, he's like, good. GOOD, capital, good.
It was good though.
At least it was good. At least
the goodest we had in a while.
Sure.
Great. There's the word great would have these
Great.
chapters are
Okay.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
No, I'm kidding.
phenomenal.
I was giving Alan a hard time, but yes,
Amazing.
And here with the
literally.
chapter title and with where it starts and where we left off last chapter, I was excited enough that assuming Loyal was going to get married. I was like,
Bruh.
it's about to go down. So I'm going into this chapter thinking,
Okay.
wedding bells. Here
So
we
you
go.
thought wedding bells, and in my mind, I thought these Ogier just arrived. It's clearly the people he's been trying to run away from. Maybe he vows to marry her. Maybe this is the engagement. I mean, I know they're
Engagement.
like,
Okay. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm like, maybe we're gonna finally get him off the hook.
Okay.
Right. But that's still where my brain's going. I wasn't expecting where we go
Yeah.
here.
I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting the
Giggity.
full wedding.
Yeah.
I was
True.
like, and plus, what a sucky wedding. Let's just start there. Well, no, let's
No, we'll
Alan,
start at the
go
beginning.
ahead,
We'll start at the
Alan.
beginning.
Go
All right.
ahead.
So Loyal
My
is led to
wedding, by
the
the way, it was well planned out. It took me a
Yeah.
year and a half to plan that bad boy. And
It was
anyway,
smooth.
go ahead, Alan. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So Loyal's led to the Ogier rooms, and he finds his mother, Father Heyman, and Irith, waiting in the
You had the
sitting
most
room.
beautiful tufted ears,
Mhm.
voluptuous lips, and she had a badonkadonk like no other.
He don't
He
even
did
try
say
to
that.
hide it. He just
Yes.
melts when he's around her.
Mhm.
His ears said,
Yeah.
"Bing."
Yep. Yeah.
They even-
Hello.
Oh yeah.
The fact that their ears are the only thing that stand up. So I wonder
Yeah.
what if
So
Corliss had
Loyal,
sticky
like,
ears?
I wasn't ready for this. Of course, his mother immediately goes in, like, "What's this that you're growing here? What's the little peach fuzz? You didn't cut that off. You didn't like
Put some milk on and let the cat lick it off.
Yeah. And of course, he's all googly eye for Irith. And she's all googly eye for him, impressed by all the adventures that Loyal's been on. His mom's like, it's foolishness. It does.
You
I
almost
think
got yourself killed here. You
Yeah.
almost got yourself killed here. You almost got yourself killed here. And then his girl chimes in and it's like, but I heard you were really brave.
Brave.
and then it has this.
Ooh,
And after she
Hercules.
said that,
Hercules.
Loyal, he swallowed hard. Her gaze made his throat feel tight. He knew he should look away. But how could he be demure?
Demure.
Very mindful.
Very mindful.
This is where it came
Very
from, y'all.
demure.
We have figured it out.
This is where the demure came from. This is where that whole thing came from. Robert Jordan, written in what 2000 and when was this?
Oh no, The Nanny came out before that was written.
2005. No, The Nanny. Okay,
It was in the nanny.
Yeah, it was in The
Okay.
Nanny.
Demure.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where it came from.
Well, I'll
Fine.
warn you guys,
Hey,
be careful using that
demure.
word. It could get you in trouble. That's all I'm
Yeah,
gonna say.
yeah. But
Okay.
how could he be demure when she's looking at him? I just love that line. Anyway, demure. Anyway, so yeah, he's all googly eyed, she's all googly eyed, and Father Heyman's just like, yeah, all right, let's go ahead and get married.
Let's do that thing.
Again,
let's do
so
that thing.
anticlimactic. Like I expected growing trees. I expected a bunch
Right.
of
Yeah.
songs. I
Well, I
expected
Singing to his wood and making it grow.
exactly.
Well, I think there was a
Yeah,
little
I bet you there was
pushback.
some wood singing.
Heyman had a little pushback, but then the mother's like, we already did the dowry, we already met the parents, like we've already done those steps. Let's get
Yeah, he was like,
do
"You're
it."
so young. Are you sure you want to marry?" And Loyal's like, "Yeah, you're young. Are you sure you want to marry?" And she's like, "Hercules, Hercules."
He's all about it.
So you're only 80 years old. And it's like, that's old enough.
She's like, "Yeah, other women in
imagine
the setting
trying to
are
date at
married that
80.
young or younger."
At 41, it's pretty lame.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So Heyman performs the ceremony, asking them both to vow under the light and by the tree, which they do. And Loyal's married. Yay! And then Heyman says,
And
it started raining, so they noticed that it started raining and that they should wait to leave for the next day. Right after the ceremony is over with, and yeah.
Loyal's like, "What are we leaving for?"
Yeah, it's like, you're married now. You're coming back to the steady. And he's like, I'm in the middle of writing my book. We're staying here. And like, he's like, no, we're leaving, but we'll wait an extra day.
There's an important meeting going on,
There's an
and we got to
important
get
meeting
back.
going on the stump. It's like, what's going on the stump? He's like, yeah, we're opening the book of translation. And Loyal's like,
Ooh.
no, you can't do that. It's like, yeah. That's
So
what
this sounds like a
doing.
magical portal that will pull them out of time and preserve them.
Yeah. They
That's
were like,
super-
we'll be able to leave this world
Yep.
and wait for the next turning of the wheel.
Yeah.
which is crazy.
So this is when the pattern
This
they
is the
have to
first
leave.
time we heard about this, right?
Yeah.
Because this was
This
news
is
to me.
time we've heard
Okay.
about this, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So like, why don't all the people do that? Can only Ogier do it, or could we like pull our heroes out and then have multiple Tavir in the next go around?
So this is where there's a lot of debate amongst the community. Where do Ogiers come from? Because it has been established that this is our world. This takes place.
So they're like aliens.
It's kind of like the elves coming to Middle Earth,
Yeah.
and then as Middle Earth is falling apart, they're like, actually, we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
It's been established
Fuck
that
next player.
we are currently in the first age. This is the third age, and by the time it comes back around to the first age, you don't remember any of this anymore. So Ogier at some point show up, and then they leave and come back. That's the trend.
Alien.
Yeah, there's theories that they're aliens.
Well, that would make sense for the other things too. The foxes and the snake
elephant.
people, the elephant, the elephant, and the elephant.
Yeah, they're able
all
to exist on a
aliens.
different plane, a different
Yep.
dimension, watching.
Yeah.
How do we even know it's a different plane? How do we know it's not a different planet?
That's still part of this existence. I would think different dimension. Because like we're in a 3D world, so everything we look at we see in 2D.
Right.
And so if you could exist in a fourth dimension, you'd be able to look down on our world and see it in 3D. And so they're like that dimension above, and they're able to see
4D.
everything and how we interact together and all that jazz.
Right. Kind of
Okay.
crazy.
Theory.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just spitballing here. I don't know.
No, not like the more I hear, and I'm like, man, he's created this fantasy world with so much science fiction inside of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kinda
Yeah,
cool.
that's another thing too. Like, because you live on 3D, if you were to observe something 4D from a 3D world, it would pass in and out, disappear, it would come and disappear out of existence. That's what it would look like to you. Because if you go down to a 2D plane and some 3D comes through, it's like it. Anyway,
Right.
Got
you can do the mathematics behind it.
And you're
Good
only
test,
really able to see a point of it at any given
Right.
time.
Right.
You'll never
So-
really be able to perceive the whole thing.
Perceive the whole thing. Yep.
Angels. They're
not
angels. There we go.
angels. They're angels are demons.
There is a really good YouTube video out there with this young kid explaining all the dimensions with like a stack of notebooks. I don't know if you remember watching that video, Alan,
I think I have.
but
think
he
I
actually breaks it down Barney style. And if you've never really got into like what the fourth and fifth and so on would, I mean, we can't truly visualize it, but an explanation of it. He does a
Right.
really good job.
Yeah, you can actually visualize a fourth dimensional object. It's just that it looks really hard in your eyes. Like a tesseract technically is a four-dimensional object, and it's really weird.
Yeah.
And
Messes with your brain.
It messes with your brain, and you don't really comprehend what's going on there. It's just there is a way to represent it, but it's weird. Anyway, yeah, it's not just from Marvel Tesseract. It's actually the whole thing. But anyway. Going on to the book of translation, he's like, no, you can't leave. And like Loyal's like, I'm gonna go talk to the stump. It's like, you're too young. He's like, no, not married. Any married man can now. And Irith is like, he's right. My man's gonna go.
He could do all the
She
things.
she set him up for that. Like she definitely had his back.
Oh yeah.
Like she's
I
loyal.
like it.
To loyal.
Yeah.
So,
And then the mom's going, they're like, no.
That's
He's
what
like,
you
oh,
need.
no, I'm the wife now. You
Yeah.
can't say shit about my husband.
she even had the ears back like a cat.
Yep.
She was like cat like. She was like, "Meow," like
Don't
the
talk to my
claws
man like
came
that.
out.
So my man's gonna talk at that stump if he wants to.
Yeah. Mom got really thrown off by that one. She was like, hold on a second.
Hold
And
on,
then
wait,
she actually
wait.
had this look of like, ooh, she's got some claws to her. Yes, that's my daughter-in-law. Yeah, Yeah.
And
he was
Havens, he
like-
was like, Loyal's a good writer. He's not the good speaker. Let's be honest here. Like,
and Loyal's like, oh my God, did he say that? Oh my God.
He
my
said,
Manage
I'm a-
expectations.
he said I'm a good writer. He said I'm a good writer. Yeah, but then he actually he goes and starts to actually make a little argument, and it's not too
To our
bad. but,
surprise, Mom's like,
Yeah.
it's not too bad actually. We'll
It's like-
clean it up.
He
He
was
says-
like, "Look, the 100 Years War or whatever it
He goes
was.
back. He goes to the
like,
War of the
that-
Shadow. We
but
stood.
that has nothing
we
to do with
fought.
us." Well, no. He talks about these other wars that
Yeah.
truly didn't have anything to do with him. He's like,
Yeah.
if you wanted to make a case for dipping out of that, sure, whatever.
Yeah, but then
But when it
nothing
comes
to
to
the
the
shadow. We've always fought the shadow.
That affects everybody.
It says, and this is
which-
termed guided coming, which means that if we leave, what happens here affects us wherever we go to.
Correct.
So
Yeah, this isn't something you can escape.
we can't just
By the way,
tail and hide.
do we? Oh no, that was probably the last chapter. The ones I was catching up on. The
Which
cut
one?
purse.
Yeah, that was last chapter.
Yeah. Okay. That was a good one though. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had some good chapters.
Yeah. So
He was
We had fun with it.
yeah.
So
And-
anyway, the married man is giving a speech,
He gives
Looking
a
out-
speech.
looking outside like
His mother says it's not that bad. And then after he's done, they do the little nose thing too, which he's like, they're too long, and I'm sure everyone around there is just going
awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
little Eskimo kisses. And yeah. And then he's just staring out the window after talking to his mom and giving his little speech, and he's like, "Oh, there's cattle out there, huh?"
Look at those cattle wrestling in the wood line.
Wait.
That's a lot of cattle.
He's like, that doesn't even make sense, but I guess
Yeah.
it makes sense.
And he
Wait,
keeps on looking.
what?
He's like, "Wait, that's like that cattle's armor. Wait, they're like thousands. There's like tens of thousands. That's
Trawler.
Trollocs." And then
I, lo-
yeah,
I love how quick everybody picked up. Like, so at the beginning of this chapter, they were fondling the weapons that the Ogier used in the past, and there was like
Right.
negative connotivity to it. Like,
right.
oh, I cannot believe this. Like, we have shears for gardening that are designed as tools, and we have axes for tools, and this makes no sense. And literally, like, Trollocs come, and the old man's like, "Hey,
Hands him
you're
out.
gonna need this axe. Let me
You're gonna
take
wanna
this
hold
other
this
one."
one.
And then
And
mom is like, you know what? These shears look phenomenal. Like, we should probably take these with us.
Yeah.
We'll hold them
that's a
off at the
great
stairs if
idea.
they come.
And they start-
Meanwhile, how about Loyal's new wife? When the way Jordan writes it, when she looks out the window and sees the Trollocs, and she goes, "Loyal, are we gonna die?" Like, Jordan writes in there that she said it almost excitedly, not afraid. Like,
yeah.
what is she like that? Remember the psycho girlfriend girl that was a meme for a while, with like the big eyes? And, like, is this her?
Yeah.
Are we gonna die? Ah, we're gonna die together. This is great, husband. Ah. Yeah.
Yeah. And they run down the hall screaming. What is it? Something with the axes.
The redcoats are coming. The redcoats are coming.
That part. There was
Trollocs coming up the axis, clear the field. Trollocs
yeah,
coming.
up
Yeah,
the
It
axis,
hasn't been
clear the
screamed in
field.
2,000 years.
Yeah, I
And
thought that was
yeah.
a cute reference. So
Oh, and while we did mention numbers,
Did say
it
you're a
wasn't
mixed hero.
thousands, it was tens of thousands of Trollocs.
Yeah,
So
tens of
this
thousands.
is the most Trollocs we've seen in these books so far.
Yeah.
you know
And
what was
you're-
funny though? I was thinking about these numbers and how impossible this battle was going to be based on just prior run-ins with the Trolloc, and I'm gonna leave it at that right now because we know
Yeah.
I was wrong.
I think Alan's in trouble. Or maybe a kid snuck downstairs. They do that sometimes.
Well,
I told him
Wherever-
not to use that word demure. He said
Yeah.
it too loud. Now he's got
Mhm.
warrants.
at the end of the day, out there he goes. There he goes. I'll have to hold off on saying.
I
that till
can
later.
hear you.
Oh.
my demure comments. Does that get you?
Yeah, got you in trouble.
Yeah. No, I had to go blow my nose because my stuffiness was getting to the point where I was sneezing. Yeah, tens of thousands of Trollocs.
And he lets out the battle cry.
He lets out the battle cry that hasn't been heard in 2,000 years.
Yeah. Then we get a cool thing that I don't think Jordan's really done yet. It's a quick cut to Rand.
Right.
And maybe you back up 5-10 seconds so you could get Rand's reaction to these guys showing up.
Right.
And they're still in their conversation about, well, I think we should, and then maybe you could, and then Rand stops and it's like,
What do you guys think?
Do y'all smell that? It smells like shit in here.
You smell.
can you smell what the Trolloc is cooking?
Yeah.
And Catswain just looking at him and is like, Shadow Spawn?
Spawn? Yep.
And so everybody's haunches go up.
Yeah. In the same instant, he could hear in the distance the ogre shouting, "Trollocs coming up the axis, clear the fields." And yeah, so they run to the window, they look out and see just as far as the eye can see, stretching to the side, like an entire line of Trollocs coming towards them.
And immediately Rand feels Catswain and whatever other Aes Sedai are there, they're channeling.
Right. And then sees the
And
flows of the
Logain.
nails.
Yeah. And it talks to Logain, was like, you did tell them that they're allowed to channel to defend themselves,
No,
right?
they started to channel, and he asked them, you told them they could.
Yeah.
As in, how dare you tell them they could, but then again,
Logain's like, well,
them
of course
they
you tell them they could at least do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So lightning starts to shoot down. And of course, at that point, they all start, like, the war cries.
Well, not they all.
No,
everybody but Rand starts laying the smack down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Everybody but Rand. Rand's just sitting there. Logain's just kind of like
freezes.
Yep.
Freezes.
And even Logain is like, so like sarcastically, hey, Mr. Dragon Man, you gonna come?
You can help?
You gonna help a little bit, Mr. Powerful Dragon Man?
Yeah. Almost sarcastically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he starts looking out, and there's lightning striking everywhere. Earth's starting to explode. There's fireballs going, fires erupting amongst the Trollocs. Trollocs are dying, but not fast enough for literally tens of thousands of them.
Yeah,
so
they're still coming.
They're still coming pretty strong and not slowing down. There's Myrtle behind them, on horses.
So Rand finally reaches for the power, and who gets a hold of it?
Lose.
And Rand's like, ah, shit. I'm not touching it at all.
Now is not the time. Damn it.
I think it's interesting that only one or the other can manage the channeling. Like when it's been Rand and Luz has been in his head, it's been Rand. But like very clearly he says Luz grabbed it and Rand doesn't have it at all.
Right.
Which is probably good considering what's coming.
Right. Because Luz knows a lot more tricks.
That, it goes back to that whole conversation of, are these two separate people?
Yeah.
Like, why would he be able to take it and Rand not be able to take it at all?
And he's weaving flows that Rand didn't know. I mean,
he couldn't
stuff
control
he was
his
doing.
hands, though.
The stuff he didn't do, he recognized, remembered it. I guess.
Right. Luz couldn't control the body.
Yeah.
But in his mind was able to control the flows and everything.
Yeah.
So now I'm wondering, let's say they develop their relationship a little bit more, because after this, when they have their conversation in the head, neither one of them can deny what's going on now. They may not totally understand it, but maybe they have a more frank conversation after this. And if they develop the relationship, is it possible they can channel together?
Yeah.
And work together? Can they link up? Or is it just a one or the other? Right now, it just seems to be a one or the other.
Yeah. We'll see.
And I'm glad it's Luz at this point.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, they wouldn't have made it without him.
And then weaves one of the coolest weaves, I think, in all, besides finger blasting, which is Death Gates.
Well, he leads up to the Death Gates.
Yeah.
So
he started out
first it's like these giant columns of fire.
Fire, yeah.
And then he goes like, boom, and they expand.
Into the arrows. They call it, what do they call them? Blossom of fire. And then it goes to Death Gates and arrows of fire. So arrows of fire, like
he's able to set them, and once he sets them and they start doing their thing, he's able to set some more.
He ties off the weave to let it just go, like, and then start setting off.
So he's just laying these things like gigantic landmines all over the battlefield.
Yeah.
and then
Death
we get
gates.
the death gates,
Yeah.
which he said it was kind of like opening the gate for traveling,
Right.
but
But then
like
closing them. Constantly
but
opening and
then
closing them.
opening closing
Yeah.
them,
Mhm.
and they're like spinning around and swirling
Right.
around. So like
Yeah.
it
like
instantly
destructo
kills them,
If they
but
go
also
through,
sends
if
them
a shadow
somewhere else.
spawn goes through a gateway, they
They're
die
dead.
instantly. But also, if it closes on them, they get cut in half because
Right.
it's the edge of a gateway will cut anybody. So
Well,
it's
and
like,
he's sending a few here, a few there, so just a couple hundred
Yeah.
here, a couple hundred
Right.
there.
yeah.
And I love
I just imagine like the opening closing like a giant Pac-Man just like going through the
Yeah.
field, just like
nom, 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 nom,
munching
nom, nom, nom,
trolls.
nom, 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 nom.
Just sends a giant Pac-Man out.
It's so good. And as he's doing it, then you start seeing little versions of what he's doing because Loghain's watching these weaves and going, "Oh shit, that's cool," and then
Mhm.
puts them together. But all of his stuff is the same thing, just a little bit
Yeah.
smaller,
Just a little smaller.
like little Yorkies nipping at the ankles of the Trollocs. And
He was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, you were hiding this whole time. When were you gonna share this?"
Yeah.
Rand's like,
Rand's like,
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of
And
figuring
then,
this out as you do, buddy."
at some point Rand looks over as Luz is throwing out all the stuff and realizes the barn's on fire where all the Saldanes are. And he's like, Luz, my friends. And this is like, kill them all. I don't really care.
Yeah. Luz-
It's like,
Rand's like, "They're all gonna die." Lou's like, "They're all gonna die."
die. Awesome.
He said, "Die, die, die, die." Yeah, he was focused in the
Yeah.
zone.
So
So
eventually
he was
Rand turns
eventually
to Loghain. It's like, Loghain,
Yeah.
barn.
right.
Put it out.
Loghain snuffs the fires out. At one point in this, there's a description when all this stuff really starts kicking off, and there's a description of how there's just legs and heads and all this stuff
Body
that's
parts
just
just
body parts
flying.
flying around like all over the place.
Yeah.
And then there was something also, he shot like little beams out that
Yeah.
would
The
like
arrows of
hit
fire.
him. And
Yeah, those
It'll go through 2 or 3 behind as well.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it
But
was
then
a lot.
he used that same beams of light. He used 100 of them on the Myrtle that actually got up to him and almost stabbed him. So Myrtle came all the way up to him. And,
Yeah, it seemed
started
like that
thrusting-
was the special Myrtle, though.
Yeah.
Like,
And he
for a
threw
minute,
like
I thought it was what's his name.
threw 100 arrows of fire at him.
Gigantic one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I Shadowhuron.
yeah. At
Yeah.
first, I thought that's who it was going to be. I was about to say, why is
yeah.
he
He kept on keeping on.
here, and why is he losing this early? That was my thought process for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd have thrown the Forsaken at him first because he's kind of controlling them now.
Yeah. But then
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, kills the Myrtle instantly. Normally Myrtles take a while to die. So that one didn't even move.
Didn't even twitch.
Didn't
Yeah.
even twitch. And then after that, realizes everyone has dropped the power around him, and he's like, looks out in the field, and there's like a few like
There's
little
a
movements
headless
here.
fade.
It's just like randomly swinging a sword, and like a couple of Trollocs like twitching in the field or whatever. Is like, we just killed like 30,000 Trollocs.
And it seems like they did it in a matter of minutes. Now they don't
Yeah.
ever express the time in these battles, but
Yeah, but how long it takes to run from like they're running fast as a horse from a tree line to the house? They
Less
kill
than a
them all.
few minutes.
yeah.
And yeah,
Well, so Rand, it's not like Rand looks around and notices everybody's dropped the power. Once he realizes the battle's over, it's more that he's immediately talking to Luz like, "Hey, Luz, we're done. You could drop
Yeah.
it." So he's trying to, but can't because Luz is the one still holding on to it.
right.
Yeah.
It's Loghain that mentions to everybody else in the room that
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, bro, why are you still holding on to the power?"
It's like you're
And
holding
everybody
on.
else looks at him like, "Wait, what? Why
Yeah,
are you still holding on to the
and
power?"
Logate's like, dude, I get it. Like you're big. Yours is bigger than mine. Like you don't have to keep showing
Yeah.
off.
He was like, "I saw how much bigger your gates were than mine. Like, I get it."
I get it, man. You don't have to keep holding it. You can let it go now.
Yeah.
He was just like, yeah,
Of course-
sure, in a minute.
Meanwhile,
yeah.
Rand is
Of
trying
course,
to.
Rand's trying to like in his head like talk Luz down. And Luz is like, I want to meet Ileana. I want to meet her. I just want to. Rand's like, dude, not the time. Like, if you wanted
Yeah,
to die,
Luz wanted to die.
it's like if you want to
So-
die, why'd you kill the Trollocs? Like, why'd you just let the Trollocs take us? Like, what's
Yeah, but the compromise is Luz is like, "Well, can I die at Tarmageddon?" And
Yeah.
Rand is like, yes, we could die at Tarmageddon. We
Yeah.
got to get there.
But more
Mhm.
importantly, before that, Cat Swain threatens Min. He's like, threatens her to figure out what Rand's going through. He's like, I know you're bonding to
What's
him.
he
Tell him.
feeling?
And Rand immediately turns to Cat Swain. He's like, you do not talk
Don't.
to my girl like that. Oh,
And
he shows
Min
One
teeth.
rule.
like-
There's one rule I'm going to make.
That's one
And
of Rand.
Min is like, don't you dare come to my protection like that.
Yeah.
So
I'm an independent woman. You do not.
mhm.
I know we got to make room for that these days, but there are some situations where when a woman gets upset that a man is being protective of her, I just roll my eyes because I can look at the situation and be like, you don't realize that you need that protection. You are so out of your element. It's not even fun. You don't even know enough to know that you're in danger.
I believe that experience is the best.
I love
teacher.
that phrase, you're out of your element. It reminds me of Big Lebowski. You're
Oh,
out of
that's
your
where I pull
element,
it from.
Donnie.
You are out of your element. But I mean, you can't.
I think they're doing a reboot of the Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element?
They're doing a
Ooh,
reboot?
Right, the old movie. Yeah.
Oh, I'm curious.
I'm curious. I don't know how I feel about it, though.
Mm,
Because
I
the
don't know.
original is
phenomenal.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's like when they try to reboot Princess Bride. It's like, no.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Did you know there was a follow up to Starship Troopers?
I
Mm-mm.
didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a second movie. Don't watch it.
Okay.
It's
No.
horrible.
It's horrible. Okay.
Yeah,
Starship
certain
Troopers
things
is
you
great.
can't redo.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. Yeah, it's great. Fantastic movie.
Anywho,
Um,
and I can protect myself from Cat Swain. Could you though?
could
Like if
you?
in that moment Cat Swain's like, I'm gonna make your head explode. Could you do anything to stop that, man?
No.
You can't.
You can't.
Like anyways.
Yeah.
But
It's gonna be
Yeah.
this-
So, but then, so Rand eventually convinces Luz that, we'll die. There are 5 Starship Trooper sequels.
Mm.
They're
all
all
are
horrible.
bad.
All are horrible. All are bad.
That's good.
The
to know.
original's great. All right. Well, actually, the original is a book, right? Or was it a comic strip? What's the original? Is it a book? Starship Troopers? Yeah, Starship Troopers is a book.
I have no idea.
all right,
Yeah,
you
I
gotta
think it's
you gotta put that one up because this is gospel. This is the truth.
What's that?
There's one exception to all the sequels being bad. All of the Tremors movies are
Amazing.
phenomenal.
Hmm.
And only because they're so bad, they're good. Like,
Yeah.
so bad. And Kevin Bacon's only in the first one, but the guy that has all the weaponry and all the big guns and everything, he's
Yeah.
in most of them, if not all of them.
I mean, sometimes the sequel is better than the original. Sometimes. I can name 2 examples that are 100%. And people might argue with me on this one. Godfather 2 is better than Godfather 1.
Mhm.
That's true.
And Aliens is better than Alien. The sequel to Aliens. Or Aliens.
I'd have to go back and watch.
Yeah,
confirm.
Yeah, that was
I don't know how
better.
I feel about that.
Oh, and I guess Lord of the Rings, but that's different,
It's different.
too.
Yeah.
That's different.
They build.
They build.
Yep.
They build. They're all one book, in my opinion. I know it's 3 books. It's one solid story.
Mm-hmm.
Just broken into 3 pieces. Terrifier 2 is better than the first one. I've never seen Terrifier 1 or 2. I've seen clips of it.
All right. So there's some examples out there.
Wrath
Oh,
of
Wrath
Khan?
of Khan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
100%,
for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Remember, they were still low budget and didn't really know what they were doing. Like in the beginning of the TV series in the first movie, they didn't
Empire
know what they
Strikes
were doing.
Back, better than New Hope. It's just, it is what it is.
But that's not the second.
Oh,
the
the
fifth.
second movie made. All right.
Alan can't even do numbers. Check your spreadsheets, bro.
And Chris is gone. Anything on that note, I'm out. Anyway, so I think that's pretty much how we end this. They drops it. Yeah. He eventually amends it saying, Min can do what she wants, but don't threaten her.
Yeah. Yep. Rand's still very protective of his female friends. I don't fault him for it.
Oh, Chris is back. There he is. The internet issues.
I don't even know. It didn't even lose internet. It just booted me out.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Weird.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
We were just saying we're pretty much at the end with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've been done with this chapter for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Anyways,
it was a doozy though. It was great.
It was good. It was good. Favorite character? Anything we missed before we go to favorite character?
So I think just to kind of reiterate that very end where we can die at Tom and Gaiden, I think we've now kind of it's clicked. Like you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Get us there, and I'll let us die.
Yeah.
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 So do you think?
Well, and what if in the end it's, you know, they're able to figure out how this relationship is, and it's Luz that dies, but Rand doesn't. You know, maybe Luz ends up being the sacrificial lamb.
You mean like Harry Potter? Because I had that same thought. I mean, the Horcrux thing. Yeah, that was. You know, I did have that same thought, so I'm kind of hoping that's going to be the case because I hate to see Rand go, and then leave his 3 wives without a husband, and his children without a father. Like nobody wants that.
Yeah,
we want the sister wives to enjoy their man, and we want him to raise his children and not be a bum.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have like at the end, instead of having all these different mirror worlds, like the splitting of the mirror worlds into these multiverses or whatever you want to call them, was part of the, let's call it the original sin, right? And in the final battle, in fixing things and killing whoever needs to be killed or whatever, what happens is we go back to that one singular timeline.
So we're in agreement that science is the issue.
Science.
Man, I think of, you could think of the Marvel multiverse stuff. You could think of the Loki series, you know, and the branching off of a bajillion streams, you know, and trying to get it back to one.
Think of Back to the Future.
Yeah. Did Back to the Future talk about different streams when you made changes?
No, people
Like
disappeared
you have different
pictures. They had
branches?
the little Polaroid pictures that disappeared and stuff like that.
Right. Sure.
They didn't do the whole string there or the multiple strings. That's been done before though in other things. So I think was it Quantum Leap did that? The TV show? Yeah, I don't know. Or Sliders. There's a bunch of those 90s TV shows about time travel. Anyway. Any other
favorite character?
Yeah, favorite character.
I'm gonna go with Elaine.
She's not even in this chapter.
Egwene, wrong E. Sorry.
She's not in it either.
Why does that have to be from this chapter?
Oh, it doesn't have to. Okay, you can
be from these 2 chapters.
Are from these chapters. She wasn't in the previous chapter either.
Elaine was in the chapter.
No, you read last week.
Those were the last week's.
Oh, that's right. I'm
Started
sorry.
with-
I read
started with
4
Loyal and
chapters.
Rand.
I read
You're
4
good.
chapters, and when I tell you I was thoroughly impressed by the way Elaine's handling things, I missed out.
We gave her some props.
We did.
Okay, well, then you pick your favorite character, and I'll tell you my favorite character after I remember who I wanted to be.
I'm torn here. There's a couple that I think ought to have it. My gut wants to say Loyal, but only because I love him.
No, his
I'm
wife
actually gonna
deserves it more than him.
I'm gonna go with Luz Theron because we just crossed the line that it doesn't matter if if you're afraid of this thing going on with Rand or anything like that. Without Luz Theron taking charge, they would have died. Because with him doing everything, the final fade made it almost face to face. That's how close he got. And he was laying down firepower that nobody else had ever seen before.
Yeah. You know what? I may give it to Logain. Because
that's a good one too.
Very quick thinker, very quick study. You know, he is almost equal in power to Rand at this point. And he's not the Dragon Reborn. So that means he's a actual prodigy an actual badass. Like these are his powers. It's his skill. He's not borrowing it from anybody else. This is all him, and he is owning it 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, unlike Rand, who has help, he's getting things done.
Yeah.
And I go back to your old theory about maybe Logain is the Dragon Reborn.
Could be.
Like, you know, he definitely doesn't have anything else going for him that would make this be the case, but I kind of support that now.
Or maybe after Rand dies, he's, second in command and kind of
The man.
takes over as leader. Who knows?
Could be the case.
But
Yeah.
I don't have as good explanations for you, but Logain was on my list as favorite character too.
Okay.
I like the way he's developing here. I'd like to get a chapter where we get in his head a little bit more.
Okay.
Be nice.
I'm gonna go with Edith. Logan's wife.
Okay.
Loyal's wife?
I agree with that.
Loyal's
Logain.
wife. Sorry, not Logan. Loyal's wife.
Yeah, it's a good one too.
I agree with that because she definitely put her foot down and stood up for her man and did what was right by him. So
Immediately,
yes,
the vows were made. She's like, "All right, now it's my man,"
Yeah.
and was excited to die with him. She's like, "Ooh, are we gonna die now?"
Yeah, that was the weird part.
It was. I was trying to find the chapter. Yeah. So next week we're going to be doing 2 chapters. So that's what I'm looking over here. Chapter 20 and 21. We're going to be reacting to chapter 20, which is, I think, has one of the most quoted parts of all the Wheel of Time in it.
Oh, really?
So it's a pretty awesome scene, like a fuck yeah scene. So that's the Golden Crane. That's the name of that one, and then Within the Stones, chapter 21.
When I heard the title of that, like I just had a hard time not going and reading ahead.
Okay.
I did not, but it definitely crossed my mind.
With
Yeah.
Golden Crane, are we gonna get some land stuff?
See, I kind of thought the same thing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like, will we finally find out more about Land's role, or?
No, this is just a
Yeah.
chapter where
But see, the Golden
make
Crane
Tiny of a bomb.
also could be in reference to no, that's the Heron. Never mind. So yeah, it's got to be Manetheren.
Not Manetheren.
Or
Manethren's
not Manetheren, sorry, the other one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Malkir.
Malkir.
Here.
That's
Yeah.
what it's got to be. We're gonna
Okay.
go with that.
All right. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be live reacting to it. You guys have to wait till Monday to read any of these chapters now.
I'm okay with it.
Easy peasy.
Okay.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Cool. And yeah, that is pretty much all I got for this week. So how have you found? Is that the reads.com? It's our website. We got merchandise like Team Painter t-shirts. I just signed up for the free shirt. We just signed up for the free shirt. That's the only reason. These aren't free, but if you sign up and pay some money, you can get a free shirt.
Free shirt.
By paying a certain amount of money for the shirt.
You're paying for the patron. You're getting the shirt.
Okay, the shirt. No, if you're patron, you don't automatically get a shirt. That's different. Anyway, so it's Patreon. Yeah, go sign up for Patreon too. So that's fun. It's a good way to support us. Join Discord. Join our social medias that I don't post on that much anymore because I'm moving and have been busy for months now because apparently this whole process takes forever. Yeah, it's annoying. And hopefully I feel better next week. And it's a small price to pay to be in a really cool club. Thank you, Tree. And that's pretty much all I got for this week. Like, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, why? Like, it's literally free. Click the button wherever it is on the screen. Yeah, and thank you. It's free. You can have unlimited subscriptions. Did you know that about YouTube? It doesn't cost anything. It's crazy. Yeah.
And don't forget to like.
Yeah, like it. That's also free. Or dislike. The algorithm likes that too.
Yeah.
So-
Hey, whatever. We
whatever. I
support
like
you.
all interactions. So like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And that's all I really got. So
Until next time.
Peace.
okay, bye.
Thank you for watching The Wheel Reads.
Until next time.
Okay, bye.
Get your Coast Guard certified life-saving
Sure.
device ready and
Sure.
strapped on.
Oh, where are we going tonight?
What kind of strap on you talking about?